Okay, so let's repeat it. How we shall say good morning for our wonderful guides. Доброе утро. Wonderful, perfect. You really deserve a big hand. Great. Dear guests, we are now a wonderful sunny bus because they're a red group and pink group all together.
Wow, pink.
Yes, that's great. And we're going now to the Yusupov Palace. Actually, it will take us probably 10 minutes.
Eyes. This is why many of the buildings that were designed in her days were blue and white. And as for even under communists, this cathedral remained an active church. So services were held there, and it's in a walking distance from your hotel. Under 10 minutes, and while from outside it looks very European, from inside it is very typically Russian, Russian Orthodox cathedral. And as for Nicholas is not only patron saint of those who travel by waters, he is also Petersburg, which is one of the largest ones in Europe. By the way, there are 2 synagogues in St. Petersburg, and they are in the same courtyard. So if you Mariinsky Theater, one of the leading companies not only in this country but in the world. You may also know Mariinsky under the name of Kirov or Kirovsky Company, Kirov. But as a St. Petersburger, I may be biased, but I would rank Mariinsky much higher, because in my opinion, in Bolshoi in Moscow, they over-concentrated on some ballets, and they have lots of stars for singing, everything up to rock singing sometimes. And
towards the wall. That is the method which was used also in the Russian churches. And the first day I told you that in St. Cathedral, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the most exotic room in the whole palace. This is a Moorish room, which made me reminded them about the walls and those golden gates. And look at the carvings on the ceiling, right? Wonderful Alhambra style, right? Alhambra style. Those elegant columns. The fireplace is made of another interesting stone. This is onyx. The 30s it was decorated with the neoclassical style by the Russian architect Mikhail II, and this is what he designed with no title. And to make this marriage possible, she purchased for him a castle which provided him with the title of a count. You know, in Europe, usually the property, the estate, the castle, chandelier fell down on the floor, and about 1/3 of those crystal parts, of those pendants, broke. So after the Second World War, they tried to restore it, and they tried to achieve the same quality.
So full information, complete information. Right. Well, we are now going back to
the signs, you will see the letter O, right? Everywhere you can see O. You see? If you see it, so you should think, you should pronounce and say O, or O. But in Moscow we don't. We say A. Instead of O, we say A. We don't say Moscow, Moskva. We say Moskva. Moskva. You see how easy? Хорошо, замечательно, все замечательно. You see how slow? Here in St. Petersburg, they speak so fast. And even in the hotel, we ask the staff, to speak a little bit slower because no idea what, they ask us for. Like, how are you? Are you fine? Are you all right? Are you from Moscow? Are you doing all right? You see, it's very, very fast. Sometimes it's just, oh, stop. But Mr. Putin, you know, he had a very good teacher of the Russian language. And his wife is also a teacher of the Russian language. You know that his wife teaches the Russian language and the Russian literature at the university here in St. Petersburg. So she is a professor, not a teacher. She is a professor, a doctor. In the 10th grade, read War and Peace. And so, I have a big library at home, and we have a lot of books. So I told him, so you can just take a book and read it. And he said, no, Mom, I have no time for that. I said, why? Are you so busy? Oh, yes, I'm in the computer. No, I'm in the internet. Next day, we would watch a movie. You see, and they did. They did watch it. So that's how our children get the education, just to bring the education back to people. So I think that's just, I was born in a communal apartment. Do you know what a communal apartment is? Yes, you do. So that was very, very difficult time for the Soviet people. At the time we were we were called the Soviet people. We were not Russians. There were no Russians. There were no Ukrainians people, Uzbekistan, Dagestan. We were all the Soviet people. So then I went to school. I went to the local school where we lived in Moscow, in the suburban area. So I learned the literature, the world literature, and later on, when I graduated from the university, I taught the Russian literature and Russian language at school, at high school. Sometimes people are a little bit shocked and say, oh, why did you teach the Russian language at school? So people didn't speak Russian at all? No, like you learned, studied English at school, right? You children, so the same is here. And so 1991 training. But we'll see, we'll watch you. So I couldn't understand what was going on around. They sell apartments, they sell flats here, but on the first and the second
benefits, yeah.